The dressing room door flew open. "Jungkook, don't look." It was already too late. Jungkook froze. For several seconds, he simply stood in the doorway, staring at Jimin, who had just stepped out from behind the changing screen wearing an outrageously bold stage outfit for their upcoming performance. Jimin's expression went blank. Jungkook's mouth fell open. Then, slowly, Jimin raised an eyebrow. "What?" Jungkook immediately looked away. "Nothing. Nothing. Absolutely nothing." "Then why are you standing there like you've just seen a ghost?" "I wasn't expecting that." Jimin glanced down at his outfit before looking back at Jungkook. "This is the outfit the stylist prepared." "I know. And it's memorable." Jimin burst out laughing. "You're terrible at pretending you're not surprised." Jungkook finally turned around. "I said I wasn't surprised." "You practically stopped breathing." "I did not." "You did." Before Jungkook could respond, the door opened again. 5 minutes. A staff member hurried away. The laughter disappeared from Jimin's face. 5 minutes. That was all they had before stepping onto the biggest stage they had performed on that year. Jimin looked into the mirror. For the first time that evening, his expression became serious. "Do I really look okay?" Jungkook turned back. The question was different from the teasing moments before. There was genuine uncertainty in Jimin's voice. Jungkook studied his reflection. "You look like someone who belongs on that stage." Jimin smiled faintly. "That's not what I asked." "I know." Jungkook walked closer and leaned against the table. "You look confident." "Even if I don't feel confident." "Especially then." Jimin stared at him through the mirror. For a moment, neither of them spoke. Then Jimin smiled. "Thanks." Jungkook nodded. But as Jimin returned to the mirror, Jungkook noticed something strange. A small black envelope was lying beneath the makeup table. It hadn't been there earlier. Jungkook's expression changed. "Jimin. Did you put that there?" Jimin turned. "What?" Jungkook pointed toward the envelope. Jimin frowned. "No." The room suddenly felt colder. Jungkook picked it up. There was no name. No logo. No explanation. Only 3 words written across the front. "You should leave." Jimin's smile vanished. "What is that?" "I don't know." Jungkook opened the envelope carefully. Inside was a single photograph. His eyes narrowed. It showed Jimin leaving the building earlier that afternoon. Someone had taken the photograph from across the street. On the back, another message had been written. "Tonight isn't about the performance." Jimin stepped closer. "Jungkook." "I know." "What does that mean?" Jungkook didn't answer. His instincts were screaming at him. Someone had been watching them. Someone who knew their schedule. Someone who knew which dressing room Jimin would be using. And someone who wanted them to know they were being watched. A knock came from outside. Both men turned toward the door. "Jimin." "Jungkook." "We're ready." Jungkook quickly folded the photograph and slipped it into his pocket. Jimin stared at him. "What are you doing?" "Nothing." "You're hiding it." "Yes." "Why?" "Because if I tell you everything right now, you'll panic." Jimin crossed his arms. "Maybe I deserve to know." "You do." "Then tell me." Jungkook looked at him. His expression softened. "After the performance." Jimin hesitated. "Promise." Jungkook nodded. "Promise." The door opened. The staff member smiled. "Guys, we really need to go." Jungkook and Jimin exchanged one final glance before following him into the hallway. The atmosphere outside was completely different. Music thundered from the arena. Lights flashed. People moved everywhere. Yet Jungkook couldn't shake the feeling that something was wrong. He looked over his shoulder. At the end of the hallway stood a man wearing a black cap. The man's face was mostly hidden. But the moment Jungkook looked at him, he turned away. Jungkook stopped. Jungkook. Jimin looked back. What happened? Jungkook stared down the corridor. The man was gone. Nothing. Again. That word. Nothing. But Jungkook knew better. Something was happening. And whatever it was, tonight's performance was only the beginning. The stage lights exploded. The crowd erupted. Jimin walked onto the stage with a confident smile. Jungkook followed. For a few minutes, everything else disappeared. The music took control. The choreography began. The audience screamed. The performance was flawless. But halfway through the second song, Jungkook noticed something. A red light appeared near the upper balcony. It flashed twice. Then disappeared. Jungkook's eyes narrowed. That wasn't part of the lighting sequence. He knew every cue. Every camera angle. Every lighting change. That light didn't belong there. He looked toward Jimin. Jimin noticed his expression. For half a second, their eyes met. Jungkook subtly shook his head. Don't react. Keep going. Jimin understood. They continued the performance. But Jungkook couldn't stop watching the balcony. The red light appeared again. This time, there was something beneath it. A figure. Standing completely still. Watching them. Jungkook's heartbeat accelerated. Then his earpiece crackled. A voice whispered. Jungkook. He recognized the voice immediately. One of the security coordinators. There's a problem backstage. Jungkook's expression tightened. What kind? Silence. Then. Someone entered your dressing room. Jungkook almost missed his next movement. Who? We don't know. Is Jimin's room secure? Another pause. No. Jungkook's blood ran cold. He looked at Jimin. The performance continued. But suddenly, the stage no longer felt like a stage. It felt like a trap. When the performance ended, they barely made it backstage before Jungkook grabbed Jimin's arm. Come with me. What happened? Don't ask questions yet. Jungkook. Please. The last word stopped Jimin. They hurried down the hallway. Security personnel were already gathered outside the dressing room. One of them approached. We found the door unlocked. Was anything stolen? No. Jungkook frowned. Then what did they do? The guard hesitated. You should see it yourself. Jungkook opened the door. The room looked untouched. Makeup. Costumes. Bags. Everything appeared normal. Then Jimin noticed the mirror. A message had been written across it. Not with paint. Not with lipstick. With something dark. The truth is closer than you think. Jimin stopped breathing. Jungkook stepped in front of him. Don't touch anything. Jimin's voice was barely audible. What truth? Jungkook looked at the mirror. He didn't know. But somewhere deep inside, he suspected this wasn't random. Someone wasn't trying to hurt them. Not yet. Someone was trying to reveal something. Something connected to the past. Something connected to Jimin. Something Jungkook himself might already know. His phone suddenly vibrated. One new message. Unknown number. Jungkook opened it. Ask Jimin what happened 12 years ago. Jungkook's face changed. Jimin noticed. What is it? Jungkook slowly locked his phone. Nothing. Jimin stared at him. Stop saying that. Jungkook looked at him. What? Nothing. Jimin stepped closer. Every time something happens, you say nothing. Every time you look worried, you say nothing. And now someone breaks into our room and leaves a message, and you're still saying nothing. Jungkook didn't respond. Jimin's voice became quieter. Do you know something? Silence. Jungkook. Finally, Jungkook looked away. Yes. Jimin's eyes widened. You do. Jungkook closed his eyes briefly. There are things about your past that you don't remember. What things? I can't tell you yet. Why? Because I don't know who I can trust. Jimin stared at him. And you? Jungkook looked directly into his eyes. You can trust me. The words hung between them. Then the light suddenly went out. The entire building fell into darkness. Someone screamed in the hallway. An alarm began to sound. Jungkook immediately moved in front of Jimin. Stay behind me. Jungkook. Don't move. Footsteps echoed outside. 1, 2, 3. Getting closer. Jungkook reached for the emergency flashlight. Before he could turn it on, the dressing room door slowly opened. A silhouette appeared. Jimin grabbed Jungkook's sleeve. The figure stepped inside. Then a voice whispered. You should have asked him the truth 12 years ago. The emergency light suddenly came back on. The room was empty. No one was there. Only a second black envelope lay on the floor. Jungkook picked it up. His hands tightened. Inside was an old photograph. Jimin looked at it. His face went pale. Because the photograph showed him as a child. Standing beside a man he hadn't seen in 12 years. And beside that man stood Jungkook's father. Jimin whispered. Why is your father in my childhood photo? Jungkook couldn't answer. Because for the first time that night, he realized something terrifying. The mystery wasn't about Jimin's outfit. It wasn't about the performance. It wasn't even about the person watching them. It was about a secret their families had buried years ago. And someone had just decided it was time to dig it back up. To be continued. Jimin couldn't take his eyes off the photograph. The room had gone completely silent. Even the alarm outside seemed distant now. His fingers trembled as he took one step closer. That man. He pointed toward the photograph. My father. Jungkook said nothing. Jimin looked at him. And that's your father? Jungkook slowly nodded. Yes. Why are they together? I don't know. Jimin's expression hardened. You're lying. I wish I were. Jungkook turned the photograph over. There was writing on the back. A date. August 17, 2014. And beneath it, 4 words. The night everything changed. Jimin swallowed. 12 years ago. Jungkook stared at the date. There was something familiar about it. Not the photograph. Not the people. The date. He had heard it before. Many times. But whenever Jungkook had asked what happened that night, his father had always given him the same answer. Some things are better left buried. Jungkook suddenly remembered his father's voice. The coldness. The warning. The locked study. The old metal box that Jungkook had once discovered hidden behind a bookshelf. He had been 17 then. He had tried to open it. His father had caught him. And for the first time in Jungkook's life, the man had looked genuinely afraid. Never touch that box again. Jungkook had never forgotten those words. Now, 12 years later, he finally understood that whatever was inside that box might be connected to Jimin. Jungkook. Jimin's voice brought him back. What? You're remembering something. Jungkook hesitated. Yes. What? My father had a box. Jimin stared at him. What kind of box? I don't know. Where is it? My family's old house. Jimin's eyes narrowed. You think there's something inside it? I think someone wants us to find it. Then let's find it. Jungkook immediately shook his head. No. Because whoever sent these messages knows exactly what we're doing. Jimin looked toward the mirror. The words were still there. The truth is closer than you think. Maybe that's exactly what they want. Jungkook stared at him. What? Maybe they want us to be afraid. Jimin took a breath. Maybe they want us to stop looking. And you think we should keep looking? Yes. Jungkook studied him. For the first time that night, he saw something different in Jimin. Not fear. Determination. You really want to know? I need to know. Jungkook nodded slowly. Then we're going to do this carefully. 2 hours later, the building was almost empty. The performance crew had gone home. The security team had finished searching the area. But Jungkook and Jimin remained in a private lounge. The photograph lay between them. Neither had spoken for several minutes. Jimin finally broke the silence. What happened to my father? Jungkook looked down. I don't know. You must know something. I know what my father told me. What did he tell you? That your family left the city because of a business dispute. Jimin frowned. That doesn't make sense. I know. My father never told me that. Maybe he didn't want you to know. Jimin leaned back. Everyone keeps saying the same thing. What? That they were protecting me. Jungkook looked at him. But no one ever asks what I wanted. Silence. Jimin's words hit harder than Jungkook expected. He understood that feeling. Growing up in a powerful family meant constantly being told what was best for him. What he could know. What he couldn't know. Who he could trust. Who he had to avoid. Even now, Jungkook wasn't certain how much of his own life had been chosen for him. His phone vibrated. Another unknown message. Jungkook opened it. This time, there was no text. Only a location. An abandoned warehouse. And a time. 2 a.m. Jimin leaned forward. What is it? Jungkook showed him. Jimin's eyes widened. Are we going? No. Jimin looked at him. You're going. Jungkook didn't answer. I can tell by your face. It's dangerous. So is staying here. Jungkook frowned. Jimin. I won't let you go alone. For several seconds, Jungkook said nothing. Then he sighed. Fine. But you stay beside me. Obviously. And if I tell you to run, I won't. Jimin. I won't leave you. Jungkook stared at him. There was something strangely reassuring about those words. But also terrifying. Because Jungkook knew what kind of night this could become. At exactly 1:57 a.m., the car stopped in front of the warehouse. The building had been abandoned for years. Broken windows. Rust-covered doors. Tall grass surrounding the entrance. Jungkook got out first. He scanned the area. Nothing. Jimin stepped out. This place looks like the beginning of a horror movie. Stay close. You've said that 3 times. Because you keep walking away. I walked 2 steps. Exactly. Jimin rolled his eyes. Despite the tension, he smiled. For a moment, the fear disappeared. Then something crashed inside the warehouse. Both froze. Jungkook immediately raised his hand. Wait here. Absolutely not. Jimin. I said I'm coming. Jungkook sighed. They entered together. The warehouse was dark. Their footsteps echoed. A single light flickered above them. Then another. They followed a narrow corridor. At the end was a metal table. On top of it sat a small black box. Jungkook stopped. His heart dropped. He recognized it. The same box. The same scratches. The same silver lock. His father's box. Jimin looked at him. You've seen this before. Jungkook nodded. My father kept it hidden. Can you open it? I don't have the key. Jimin pointed toward the table. There. A small key lay beside the box. Jungkook slowly picked it up. Someone wants us to open this. Then open it. Jungkook hesitated. Then inserted the key. Click. The lock opened. Inside were several documents. A newspaper clipping. A USB drive. And a handwritten letter. Jungkook picked up the letter. His hands became cold. The handwriting was unmistakable. His father's. Jimin watched him unfold it. Jungkook read the first line. His face changed. What does it say? Jungkook didn't answer. Jungkook. He finally handed the letter to Jimin. Jimin read. His eyes widened. The letter contained only a few paragraphs. But one sentence destroyed everything they thought they knew. If anything happens to me, protect Jimin. He is not responsible for what happened that night. Jimin stared at the words. What does that mean? Jungkook shook his head. I don't know. There has to be more. Jungkook grabbed the newspaper clipping. The headline was partially damaged. But one word remained visible. Fire. Jimin's face became pale. What fire? Jungkook continued reading. An old warehouse fire. 12 years ago. 2 families had been involved. One person had disappeared. Another had been presumed dead. And a child had been found unconscious near the scene. Jimin stared at the article. That child. Jungkook looked at him. Yes. You mean me? Jungkook couldn't speak. Jimin's breathing became uneven. I was there. You were a child. I don't remember. You weren't supposed to. Jimin looked at him. What do you mean? Jungkook picked up the USB drive. Maybe this explains everything. Before they could examine it, the warehouse light suddenly turned on. Both men froze. A voice came from the upper floor. You shouldn't have opened the box. Jungkook immediately stepped in front of Jimin. Who's there? A man emerged from the shadows. Black coat. Black gloves. His face remained hidden. Jungkook's expression hardened. You. The men stopped. Jimin looked at Jungkook. You know him? No. Then why did you say that? Because I've seen him before. Where? At the arena. The men laughed softly. You're finally starting to remember. Jungkook's jaw tightened. What do you want? The truth. You're the one sending the messages. Yes. Why? Because your father lied to both of you. Jimin stepped forward. What happened 12 years ago? The men looked at him. You survived. Jimin froze. Survived what? The fire. Silence. The fire that killed your father. Jimin's eyes widened. My father died in a fire. The men nodded. But that's not the whole story. Jungkook's voice became colder. Then tell us. I can't. Why? Because the person who caused the fire is still alive. Jungkook felt his blood run cold. Who? The men smiled. Someone very close to you. Suddenly, the lights went out. A loud metallic crash echoed through the warehouse. Jungkook grabbed Jimin's arm. Run! They sprinted toward the entrance. Behind them came the sound of footsteps. Someone was chasing them. Jimin looked over his shoulder. I can't see. Keep moving. A loud bang exploded behind them. Jimin stumbled. Jungkook caught him. Are you okay? They reached the exit. Jungkook pushed the door open. Cold night air hit their faces. They ran toward the car. But when Jungkook reached for his keys, he stopped. The car had been tampered with. The tires were destroyed. Jimin stared. They knew we'd come. Jungkook looked back toward the warehouse. The man was standing in the doorway, watching them. Then he raised his hand. In it was another photograph. He dropped it onto the ground and disappeared into the darkness. Jungkook approached cautiously. He picked up the photograph. His expression changed immediately. Jimin saw it. What is it? Jungkook turned it around. Jimin looked. The photograph showed two children standing beside the burning warehouse. One was Jimin. The other was Jungkook. Jimin's eyes widened. That's impossible. Jungkook stared at the image. He couldn't remember being there. But the photograph proved that he had been. And suddenly, another memory surfaced. A child's voice. Crying. Fire. Smoke. Someone holding his hand. And a man's voice shouting. Take Jimin and run. Jungkook stumbled backward. Jimin caught his arm. Jungkook. He looked at Jimin. I remember. What? That night. Jimin's voice trembled. What happened? Jungkook stared at the burning memories returning to his mind. I was there. What did you see? Jungkook swallowed. Then his eyes widened. There was someone else. Who? I don't know. Jungkook. He looked at Jimin. The person who saved us. His voice broke. Wasn't my father. Jimin froze. Then who was it? Jungkook looked toward the dark road. I don't know. His phone suddenly rang. Unknown number. He answered. No one spoke. Then a distorted voice whispered. You found the photograph. Jungkook's eyes hardened. Who are you? A pause. Then. Ask Jimin about the scar on his left shoulder. The call ended. Jungkook slowly looked at Jimin. Jimin's face had gone pale. What? Jungkook didn't answer. His eyes moved toward Jimin's shoulder. Jimin instinctively covered it. Why are you looking at me like that? Jungkook whispered. You have a scar. Jimin said nothing. And that silence was more frightening than any answer. Because suddenly Jungkook realized something. Jimin remembered more than he had admitted.